I was going to go online, but let's start from the newspapers before we get the online stories. There's a story that has caught my attention on my Joe Online, but let me start with the Ghanaian Times this morning. Ofankor-Nsawam road project progressing steadily. Contractor to complete work on schedule. This is according to the resident engineer. And so this year, is it by June? You know, when the president visited them, they gave us a June deadline. We should see. I'll give you details of the story later. But by the end of this year, that road should be completed, and we should be using that road. So, so July 2024. It was initially scheduled for a July 2024 completion, but now it's been extended to July 2026. So by July 2026, we should be driving on that road without any challenges. Illegal mining. Asante Hene urges government to adopt measures to preserve water bodies. And GES suspends inter-school sports in the central region as police probes incident. And 4 arrested in deadly Oshim Tigo Junction robbery in Kumasi.
Okay, so let's get to the daily graphic. Kotoka International Airport reverts to Accra International Airport. Government should enable economy, not control it. Minority leader. Economy Post fastest turnaround. And 40 Ghanaian languages face extinction.
40 Ghanaian languages
40
face extinction.
Yes.
Wow.
And teacher licensure exam not cancelled. NTC. Back page, government to roll out specialist nursing programs to tackle skills gap. And ministers visit injured tomato merchants at hospital. Assure them of support.
I didn't give you the back page of the Ghanaian Times, so let me give you the back page.
Please do.
Vice President donates to Cape Coast Central Mosque. And the items included bags of rice, bottled water, cartons of milk, and boxes of detergents. And they were presented on her behalf by the Member of Parliament for Cape Coast North. Media, all I want to know is that the bags of rice, what brand of rice is it? Is it Ghana rice?
It has to.
That's all I want to know. The bags of rice. So the Office of the Vice President, you are listening. You have presented bags of rice to the Cape Coast Central Mosque. Last year you presented rice. Is it Ghana rice? Based on the Super Morning Show's calculation, the Eid weekend for this year will be consuming about 50 million Ghana cedis of rice. Politicians, the government, state institutions will be donating rice. Have you ordered your Ghana rice? Or you are bringing in imported rice to kill our market? So Vice President, Prof, you've donated rice. Is it Ghana rice? Please share evidence that it is Ghana rice so that we know that you are walking the talk. Now I'll take you to the Economy Times. Dr. Siama Esidun Ketia, others mourn late Economy Times editor Elom Desewu. And there's a photo of these dignitaries who attended the funeral. And falling global prices set off new alarm bells for Ghana's cocoa pricing regime. And Energy Commission Board set to revolutionize Ghana's EV landscape with new regulations.
Now, the overseer for this morning says Ghana records strong fiscal recovery in 2025. Debt falls by 82 billion cedis. Conflict of interest at Cocoa Board as Sifua demands Ato Boateng steps aside. Mahama appoints Aaron Kano as acting Customs Commissioner at GRA. National Women's Ministries delegation pays courtesy call on Gender Minister. And a sad story here. Bongo DCE dies after short illness. May his soul rest in peace. And Central Region, GES suspends all inter-school sports after student clash at zonal competition. And
if you go to the new finder, gold surges past $5,160 as investors flock to safe haven assets. Ofosudote predicted this at the Crystal Ball, and it is happening live and colored. Now on culture and heritage, Akable highlights the spiritual power of high life across Africa. And as we get ready for the Ghana month, there are a lot of interesting conversations that we are going to have here on the Super Morning Show. Now, lack of budgeting culture driving households into financial distress, and weak consumption, high unemployment threaten Ghana's recovery. This according to a data bank research.
The insight for today says, all set for Ghana's Day of Shame today. Progressive Pan-Africanists to speak at a public forum on Nkrumah's overthrow. Another story says, Day of Shame, Nkrumah and the struggle for freedom. And 60 years on, exposing the anti-Nkrumah lies, falsehood, and the vile propaganda. Kotoka no more, Ghana restores Accra International Airport. So the insight was managing news editor is Kwesi Pratt Jr. Dedicated the whole front page to the memory of Ghana's first president, Osajifo, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah.
Anyway, then we can go online.
Yes, the online news review brought to us by Zenith Bank in your best interest.
My Joe Online, Kotoka International Airport to introduce 3D scanners and shoe removal for passengers. Charlie, this thing, you are traveling at the airport, Charlie, what's tipa, and you get to the scanning bits and you have to remove your shoes, walk barefooted before you wear your shoe and continue. And it's
I'll tell you what I've done before. One day I was wearing my native sandals, and so when I got to that, I said, "Hey, I don't know to me if you are dear son, to me, Anna, from sir." Like, oh no. So they took me to a room, a separate room.
Yes.
And they came for the Hinima and went
to scan.
And I'm like,
so now we are going to buy 3D scanners. And Charlie, I've been worried about this for years. You get there and there's a long queue because everybody has removed their shoes and to get scanned. But now we are told we'll get 3D scanners very soon. So in fact, it's the Accra International Airport because the name has changed from Kotoka International Airport to Accra International Airport, from KIA to AIA. Now more stories from my Joe Online. Push them too hard, lose them to private hospitals. NPP MP warns on doctors and rural postings. And Ghanaian artist sets Guinness record with leaf prints. This is a good one. Mahama urges private sector participation in industrial water supply reforms. And 127 of 318 ambulances grounded as fleet ages, National Ambulance Service official reviews. And if you look at the numbers, we started the ambulance service in 2004 with 9 ambulances after the May 9th issues and all those things. At a point by 2017-2018, we only had just about 50 ambulances after we had procured ambulances through some foreign grants and all those things. And we increased our fleet to 356 if you look at the procurement trajectory. But the ambulance service had only about 318. Now, out of these 318 ambulances, 127 have been grounded. So we have only just about 60% of the ambulances in the fleet of the Ghana Ambulance Service which can save lives. So we'll give you more details on the ambulance-related issues this morning on the show. And more stories from my Joy Online. Energy Ministry clarifies power interruptions, and they say this is not load shedding, this is routine maintenance activities. And cutting doctors off payroll won't fix rural crisis, NPP MP tells Health Minister. We can go to citynewsroom.com now. Cement manufacturers warn of price hike over clinker delays at port. There's a photo of the manufacturers with the Minister of Trade. And IMF lifts Africa growth forecast. Ghana others set for expansion. And tomato prices soar in Accra after Burkina Faso attacks. But the tomato prices, if you look at the cost of tomato farm gate and how we are buying it retail in Accra, it doesn't make sense, Winston. If you look at everything, the price build up and everything, it just doesn't make sense. The price of tomato in Accra, in the face of all these challenges, I think it's just too much in Accra. And smuggling and counterfeiting are economic sabotage. President Mahama speaking. So those are stories from citynewsroom.com.
Okay. Let's get into the details of the stories in the newspapers then.
Yes, the details. The N6 connection from Nsawam and Ofankor will be ready this year in July 2026, according to the resident engineer. The story is on the center spread of the Ghanaian Times. It says work on the Ofankor-Nsawam road project is progressing steadily, with most of the scope of the work completed. So far, about 80% of the work has been completed, with most parts of the road asphalted. When the roads minister came here, we suggested to him that he should put up a portal on the roads ministry website where we see progress of works on all these public infrastructural works. Winston, you know why?
Tell me.
The road to my house is being constructed, the Dodua Road. I don't know when it will be fixed, right? But almost every week I go to the mechanic shop because of one problem or the other. Now the latest problem is they've built some speed ramps. Okay, those speed ramps, because they are not properly designed, Charlie, they are breaking our vehicles. They are breaking our bumpers. They are breaking our exhaust. Like every week I have to go and fix something. But if you publish that you are going to finish maybe in June, July, August, then I psych myself that I have to endure that and also budget for the cost of my maintenance.
Very crucial.
But Charlie, nobody minds us. So you are using my money, taxpayers' money, to build roads for me, but you don't have any proper public portal or accountability platform to give me updates on the roads you are constructing or the infrastructure you are putting in place for me. How do I plan my life then?
Good point. This matter. But let me take you to a story in the Daily Graphic. 40 Ghanaian languages face extinction. And the executive director of the Ghana Library Authority, Ziblim Al-Hassan, has revealed that at least 40 Ghanaian languages are on the verge of extinction, warning that urgent and deliberate measures are required to preserve the country's linguistic heritage. Now, he stressed that language was not merely a tool for communication, but the foundation of identity, culture, and collective memory. And this is a quote: "Language is the vessel of our memory and the architecture of our worldview. When a language disappears, an entire system of knowledge, oral history, proverbs, and indigenous wisdom vanishes with it." And he said that 70 African languages, including the Boro language in Ghana, had become extinct. Additionally, Dumpo, I told you about the language that had 6 speakers. Well, it says Dumpo, once spoken by a hunter-gatherer group in Bono East, is now confirmed extinct, with speakers having shifted largely to Akan. Several other Ghanaian languages are critically endangered, including Nawuri in northern Ghana, Tuli or Boyure in the Oti region, Chala in eastern Ghana, and certain dialects of Anufo Chakosi in the north. These languages, he said, were under pressure from dominant tongues, with younger generations increasingly abandoning them. And this is something that, would always happen.
Yeah.
It's something that would happen. But it's also important that as a people, we take steps to preserve these languages. There's a point that he makes that I like so much. He talks about the fact that language is the vessel of our memory and the architecture of our worldview. When a language disappears, an entire system of knowledge, oral history, proverbs, and indigenous wisdom vanishes with it. That's the identity of the people. So it's important they understand that. And that's why I'm happy today that Ahanta has been approved for teaching in our schools. And it's, other languages should also try, get it written and taught.
Yeah. And languages, I also believe, thrive on economic power. If we build our economy and we become a proper superpower, even within our sub-region, people who would want to do business with us and trade with us, at least about 3 or 4 main languages that we speak, they will try to learn. The same way now Ghanaians are learning Chinese and we are learning all sorts of languages because we want to trade in certain places. So our languages, some will die, but the key ones, we need to link our economic strength to the languages so that at least we don't lose them in the next 50 years.
I'm laughing because when you say the key ones,
yes,
and I'm laughing because there are people listening to us whose languages are not key, and they'll probably be saying, so let's develop our languages.
Yes.
The Hunter people developed their language. They took a decision that they were not going to allow this language to go. And
let's have digital archives and all those things.
Let's do that.
Yeah. Okay.
But the point is, and that's why I find this thing very problematic. And all of us have become this whole idea of speaking English to our children.
No vernacular.
You see, when we went to school, when you speak your local language, you're told, I'm a fool to speak vernacular, what. But research has shown that people who speak multiple languages are better placed intellectually, even than others. Their cognitive development is better than those who speak just a single language.
But the English, their children will speak, sir, because all they have is their tablets and TV, and it's just English on the thing.
Start speaking the local language with them. Unfortunately, I know the other challenge. The other challenge is that today, And there's something I also like. I like the fact that people are marrying from different groups. So you're not just marrying from where you come from. Okay? So when it happens like that, you want to, but at all cost, that child should be able to speak.
What time did you leave home today?
Oh, I left home before 5 a.m.
What time will Madam leave home today?
Around, okay, she's left home by now. Yeah.
How many contact hours do you have with your child?
I pick him up from school around 4 up until the time that I go to bed, or he will go to bed, say 8.
You have, so you
about
have
4 hours.
4 hours. Within the 4 hours, how many hours do you actually talk, sir, to develop the language?
Well, I try.
So my point is, especially in the urban areas, the structure of our urban system right now actually does not allow parents to spend a lot more time with our kids. And unfortunately, for those of us who even gave birth to children around the COVID time, we were all stuck to the screen. We have not deliberately, as a country, even developed content for children to socialize them properly, according to our language lines, according to our culture lines, according to none.
Yeah.
Okay, so the urban parent doesn't have enough time. The urban child has more contact hours in school. They finish class, they have to do after class and all those things. And the language of instruction there is the English language. So practically, we need to sit down as a state to see how we close those gaps by putting money down. You see, we don't solve these things with words. So we can't
And
solve
that's
the
why we're
language
talking
problem
about it.
with words.
See,
we need to put down money and invest.
What I have done, at least, is that even though my son speaks English to me, when I speak Fanti to him, he will respond in English.
Yeah.
And I have told him that, young man, very soon I would insist on you responding in Fanti to me. Now, I say that also because, look, and I learned at the time when in school
It was different.
Wait. And I'll tell you one thing. When I went to Ho, at the time I was learning Ewe actually. I learned it at the time when there were people where I lived who could speak Twi.
Yeah.
And so we're comfortable speaking Twi with you. Those who wouldn't will speak English with you.
Yeah.
In school, you wouldn't speak, Ewe, you speak English. But because I wanted to,
Kofi,
I'm coming.
by age 4-5, we were playing gata football.
Yeah, but I went to
we were walking.
5.
we were walking to the market. We were the ones who were being sent to go to the market. We were going to steal mangoes from people.
I have just been informed that we need to go for the BBC.
This language thing.
We'll talk about this.
Yes.